When you hear the last name Belisle, you might think of legendary coach Bill Belisle at Mount St. Charles. But here at UMass Boston, his son Peter is not only part of a historical change happening on the ice, but on campus as well. I'm Joel Idelson, and this is New England Hockey Journal.
We got Larks in the middle. We got Reds on the left. We got Bross on the right. We got Chuck on the left team. We got Albano on the right team. And we got Mr. McBurney in the net. Let's go, let's go.
Coach Peter Belisle has people excited at UMass Boston. His hockey program has risen to become one of the best Division III programs in the country. The son of legendary Rhode Island hockey coach Bill Belisle, Peter took over at UMass Boston 12 years ago, and the program was struggling.
All right, let's try to recognize that and be interchangeable there.
We were 0-25, and I'm taking over a program that, is in the cellar. And my dad said there's only one way to go but up.
And that upward progression reached a high point in 2016 when the Beacons won the New England Championships and reached the Division III Frozen Four.
Just a magical year. We ended up beating Babson and Norwich for the league title, and then to go on and win the championship in the playoffs, it was surreal. That was a year that I think all of us will never forget, and is certainly the most special so far in my coaching career.
Let's make sure we're competing, the effort's there, but we're executing as well.
Belisle's players have all bought into the system.
He's bringing in the right players and good players who want to win. And his coaching style is great. I mean, he's hard on us defensively and wants us to make the right plays there. And then when we get across our red line, we have the freedom to make plays on offense and score as many goals as possible.
There you go!
He's an old school kind of coach. He's right in your face, tells you exactly how it's going to be, and I like that. He's very upfront with you.
I don't need you body slamming anybody out there, okay? Keep your head. My coaching philosophy is I want to make better men through the game of hockey. That's what my dad and brother taught me, and there's so many life lessons in the game of hockey that you can bring into everyday life that that's what it's really all about.
You put the puck off the pad and we have a chance. Spin around the shot, they score! Yeah! Out of the way, Red! Hey, nice job hitting that deep.
It's the attitude, it's the swagger. We just know how to win here. We have great coaches, we have great leadership, great group of guys. Perfect recipe for victory.
Good job, Bailey. Good job, man.
I want them to be proud that they played here at UMass and they're part of the hockey family here at UMass Boston. And I want them to just cherish the time, no matter how many games we won or lost. That should be the best time in their life, and I want them to remember that.
After the break, we will meet with the Beacons' high-scoring captain who's looking to follow in his brother's NHL footsteps. But first, let's check out the latest in hockey gear.
We are at Sports Etc. here in Arlington, Massachusetts. I'm with Rich O'Rourke, who's been here 29 years.
That's correct.
Older than me.
Yes.
Not really.
Just about.
Rich, I'm kind of looking forward to this segment here because we're talking about skates and specifically getting your feet fitted properly for skates. I just bought skates. The right one feels great. Left foot's killing me.
Right.
What's your solution there?
Well, what's unique here is the new True Skate is the first fully 3D image skate. It would give you an exact fit for each one of your feet individually.
All right, so Bauer also has that capability, right? We've seen that before.
That's correct, yeah. At this point in time, that machine is, it will kick out a size and a recommendation for you within the Bauer line of skates.
Okay, so nothing customizable,
off the shelf,
right?
Correct.
So they'll take a view of something that might fit me that's off the shelf.
That's correct.
This is fully customizable.
Fully customizable. It can be two different sizes. Your left foot's going to be different from your right foot, whatever the difference in the nuances of your 2 feet might be.
All right, show me how this works.
Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to get down, we're going to have your foot in a forward flex position.
Okay.
We're going to take an image clockwise, fully 360 degrees around one foot.
Wow.
Fully 360 degrees around the other foot. We're going to take 2 still images of the foot from the inside, take a little information, and from there, all that information is forwarded to Calgary, where they'll produce you a pair of custom skates in 3 weeks.
And 3 weeks later, I have skates that fit me.
3 weeks later, you have skates that fit you.
So oftentimes we do these segments. It's always about fit and comfort for the player. Utilizing technology from True, such as their scanner, is so important.
from a fit standpoint, you need something that you can't get off the shelf. It is vital to your performance that you have something that fits your foot correctly.
If you're looking for new skates, specifically skates that custom fit you, 29 years worth of experience from this guy right here. Come see Rich at Sports Etc. We're at the Perazzo Rink in East Boston, Massachusetts. I'm with Heath Gordon, who's Director of Hockey for FMCI Sports. Heath, today we're going to talk about the mechanics of skating. Tell us what we're going to look at.
So we're going to take our skaters back to the beginning here. We're going to start them in a good athletic hockey base, kind of what you would teach them to learn to play. And we're going to take them through a progression here where we're going to incorporate some C-cuts, some glide pushes, and then we'll move into a full-length stride.
Let's take a look.
I'm going to start this player at a very grassroots position, which is our typical hockey position. His shoulders, knees, and toes are aligned. He has good hand placement on the stick. His head is looking forward. And from here, we're going to work on 3 different things. We're going to work on C-cuts, then we're going to move into T-pushes, and lastly, we're going to do full stride mechanics where we're going to incorporate the arms.
One of the things you notice when a kid is just learning to skate, they kind of bend their back like that. It's really important, as we saw, to keep your chest up and knees bent, a good hockey position.
Correct, and that's why we started the players today. 2 hands on the stick as we were doing the C-cuts and the glide pushes. It really sits them in a nice low base. And then as we take that bottom hand off of the stick and we start incorporating arms into the stride, that kind of keeps them in that nice seated position with their chest up and their head looking forward.
Nolan Rattler goes far side for Larkin. He scores! Colin Larkin, the captain.
This past season could not have gone much better for Colin Larkin. The UMass Boston senior led the country in scoring, while becoming the Beacon's 4th all-time leader in points.
He shoots, he scores!
Coach Belisle in the program for me here was a no-brainer. I got to meet him right away. He said he wanted me to be an impact player right away, and I was. And it couldn't have been a better decision for me personally. I think I've had a great 4 years here.
Love you. All right, Dad.
It was senior night recently at UMass Boston, and the Beacons honored their only graduating player.
We knew we were getting a good one in Colin Larkin, and every year he's just continued to get better.
He scored the game-winning goal, was the MVP at the 2016 New England Championships, and is a legit NHL prospect. His brother Dylan, a top scorer for the Detroit Red Wings, is already there.
Yeah, we have a really good relationship. In the summer, we're always together, and I'm really proud of his accomplishments, and he's really worked hard for everything he's got and his path to the NHL and his success in the NHL.
We have a lot of similarities. He's a little bit bigger than I am, but he's a playmaker. He wants to play offense, and it was cool to watch him live.
I'll call him throughout the week, or when we're in the middle of the season, we'll bounce stuff off each other. We're at different levels, but we're going through the same things, and it's a really cool thing for me to be able to do, and I think he would say the same.
The Larkins are from Waterford, Michigan, where they run a summer hockey camp.
Me and my brother, and then my 2 cousins, Adam and Ryan, who are college hockey players themselves, and the 4 of us get to do this together. And we have 260 kids come through in about 3 weeks of the camp, and it's really cool to get to work with them and get to meet them and know them and give back to the community in that way.
He's just been tremendous. He's a heck of a hockey player and even a better individual.
I have to take care of the defensive zone and my responsibilities there, but when we get the puck, we're going, and I like to play fast and shoot the puck.
And a goal! They score!
For a Division III player, he's like a once-in-a-generation type.
He's probably one of the best players, if the best player I've ever played with. As a leader, too, he really knows what he's doing. It's his work ethic. He's the real deal. Get the whole package.
We're committing to the pile, so we'll have a guy off and just try and zip it to him.
You gotta trust the kid. He's proved it throughout the last 4 years.
I've taken away a lot up from this program, just the pride of being a Beacon and pride of going to school here and being a part of the group of players that have gone before me and this group of guys is really special, and I couldn't be more happy to have said I went to UMass Boston and be a Beacon.
That's it, guys. That away, boys.
When we return on New England Hockey Journal, we will show you some of the Massachusetts of UMass Boston hockey.
Hi, I'm Brett Peterson with Acme Sports, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Advisor. Our question today comes from Vincent in Ashland, Mass. What is a verbal commitment to a college? Hi, Vincent. This is a question you'll hear a lot around the rinks when players are making a decision about playing college. A verbal commitment is a non-binding agreement between a prospect and a coach to attend the coach's institution. Nowadays, a lot of kids want to get the verbal commitment, but there are two steps. First, getting the commitment. Second, staying committed. Verbal commitments are broken all the time by the player or the school, so don't put too much weight in the verbal commitments. We'll see you next time on Ask the Advisor.
Sasha Makarov on the far side wing as Beacons win the face-off, sent all the way in by Gallagher. And it pokes right over to McGregor.
Oh, the net with it! Hey, right there we got to drive to the net. Right there, Mac's going to take that from the goal line to the net.
You want to coach good kids, hard-working kids that really love the game of hockey. Then the talent, definitely, certainly after that. So we're trying to get the best kids with the best talent.
And in the last few years, the talent level at UMass Boston has seen a spike.
He took over like a winless team basically, and he's really done an exceptional job turning it around. We got a ton of Mass kids. It's, it wasn't really a destination up until before he got here. Now it's like, we got kids calling us all the time, want to come play here, local kids.
A look at the Beacons roster reveals several Massachusetts homegrown players.
Massachusetts is obviously one of the hockey hotbeds in all of America, and we talked a little bit about, not being able to really attract those kids in the beginning of my tenure, but I feel like now we've had a little bit more success as of late to really harness in on those Mass kids that, maybe don't get a chance to go play Division I, that maybe could, but for whatever reason, they're not. Those are the kids we need, and with the in-state tuition, it's a no-brainer.
Heading forward up into the attacking zone, Gabe. Gabe sets it down, right in front, what a pass, they score! Nolan Redler!
And Nolan's one of those kids that just makes me smile. He's got a great attitude. He just keeps the guys loose in the room. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the best skater, but he is tough and he's gritty.
I try to model my game after Brad Marchand. Everyone loves to hate him. I don't mind being the bad guy.
Cross 3-on-1, try the side, they score! And who else but Nolan Redler?
He's really good at finding the open areas by the net. You can see his little frame over there, and you just send him the puck, and you know he's going to put it in.
Anthony, near side, Williamson wide open, great save by Bailey McBurney.
Bailey McBurney wanted to go to Division I. He didn't have a chance to play, and he reached out to us, and then thank God he did.
I got an opportunity to go play at Sacred Heart, and for whatever reason, it just didn't end up working out. And I wound up coming to UMass Boston, and it's been one of the greatest decisions I've ever made.
I've played against Bales and known Bales for a little bit now, growing up playing youth hockey. And basically, he texted me, I texted him back. I was like, hey, if you want to come here, I'm sure the door's open for you. And he's a competitor.
He's our rock. He's the most important guy in our locker room. You got to build from the goalie out. And a big part of our success this year is because of him. He's a very talented goaltender.
Jumping in and playing right away was definitely a little bit difficult. The guys did a really good job of helping me get comfortable.
Nick's unbelievable. The way he can evade players, and it's amazing. His offensive abilities as a defenseman really boost our power play.
Nick Albano is a kid who could play on any Division I roster, but that happens. Kids get overlooked, and we were there with our catcher's mitt to catch a kid like that, and fortunately he wanted to come here, and he's enjoying his experience.
I was talking to a few schools in the area. Once I met Peter Belisle and Corey Schneider, I trusted them with my career moving forward, so it's kind of an easy decision. I knew Nolan and Bailey and some guys on that team from the area, so I figured I'd like it and connect with the guys early, and being in Boston doesn't hurt either.
Getting him to come here was absolutely huge. I mean, he was out in the USHL with some of the best players in the world, under 20, and when he was coming here, it was a big get for us.
Give it to Nick Albano.
Things just clicked right from the get-go. I mean, our defense is a pretty solid group. And everyone thinks D3 hockey isn't that great, but once you get out there, these kids are pretty good. Hit me by a bit of surprise coming from juniors, thinking this would be easy, but it's not a cakewalk at all.
Everyone's talented, everyone can play the game, but we all bond so well. We all really love each other. It's really a great group.
Mass kids are a different type of breed. When we're all together in one place, it's trouble, but it's a good kind of trouble.
1, 2, 3, family!
We will be back with more UMass Boston hockey on New England Hockey Journal after this timeout.
I'm here with Joe Caligiuri at Stadium Performance in Dedham, Massachusetts. Joe, today we're going to talk about joint mobility. And from what I understand from our conversation, that is not the same as flexibility.
Of course. Mobility is something we can work on when you're not at Stadium Performance. You can do it on your own at home. All right, this is something that involves tissues that aren't elastic, like muscle and ligaments, which is flexibility.
Okay, so there's a clear difference there.
Definite difference. This is something that's limitations like capsules and tendons, and this takes very precise movements and things you can learn at somewhere like Stadium Performance.
Let's go take a look.
Something you can do to enhance your performance before you work out or at home when you're not lifting is called joint mobilizations, all right? This is something that works on things that aren't soft tissue. So this isn't ligaments and muscles. This is things like capsules and tendons, all right? So this is something very simple. It takes a monster band. We're gonna have Tyler sit down in a 90-90 position with a band as high up on his femur as he can go. And this is an anterior draw on his femur to give an anterior stress on his anterior capsule, all right? He's gonna squeeze his involved glute and he'll feel a nice burn on the front of his quad. He's not going to arch his back. That would be a hip flexor stretch. This is the anterior capsule distraction for a nice stretch of the anterior capsule. Likewise, Bjorn's going to do the same thing. He has the band as high as he can in the groin area. It's going to do a posterior distraction in the high femur, pulling into the posterior capsule with an involved glute contraction. Good job, Bjorn. And over here with Tim, he's going to do the same thing, 90-90 position. He's going to put the left hand on the forefoot to keep the foot from coming up. The band is in the high groin area. He's going to tuck the knee in and let the high femur distract to the outside, getting a lateral distraction on the lateral capsule. All right, another really important joint mobilization for the hockey player is a thoracic mobilization. Unlike the lumbar spine, which is stabilized, the thoracic region of the back needs to rotate quite a bit, very similar to a number of upper body exercises that we do. So what we do here is we have the athlete put their knee up on top of the foam roller. This locks in the lumbar spine, all right? In this instance, Bjorn is going to land side lying with his lumbar spine locked, his arm out extended, and he's going to stare at the top hand, okay? He's going to rotate his thoracic spine open, staring at his top hand, and try to touch his shoulder to the ground. He'll go as far as he can, come back, and touch his closed hand once again. The last thoracic mobilization we like to do is called the AP mode. That's anterior posterior. The thoracic spine in general is a semi-movable joint. That means it moves just a little bit. By principle, it should do primary moving as a rotational joint, but it does have an anterior posterior glide. In order to get that movement, we need to lock in the cervical spine by putting the head on the floor and having Tyler move the foam roller inferiorly down the spine as far as he can with the head on the ground. All right, when he gets to that level, he comes back with the foam roller moving superiorly up the spine, keeping the head locked in on the floor. At this time, you might get some crack and some pop. That's just the anterior posterior glide of the thoracic spine and the vertebrae. Nothing to be alarmed, very healthy.
So Joe, you always hear about the importance of flexibility, but clearly mobility is very important.
It is very important. We don't talk about it enough. Mobility is something we really need to insert into the programming and all the protocols of hockey strength and conditioning.
If you want to get more mobile, check out Joe and check out Stadium Performance.
Larkin into the zone already with one goal. Larkin loose and edge, able to find it in the near side. Bono through traffic, looking for the deflection, and the Beacons have it in front, shoots and scores!
Now that UMass Boston, I think, is more on the national scene as a hockey program, I think our alums are proud, and we want to sustain that success.
And the hockey program is not the only thing at UMass Boston that has undergone a big transformation.
This school is absolutely booming with the dormitories that we're having next year. It's a game changer. For years, we've been known as the commuter school. Now we're going to have 24-hour students on our campus in 2 high-rises right next to the rink. I just think it has so many attractive things to an up-and-coming hockey player to look at.
Get there, good. Out of way.
closest thing to a Division I program that I've seen. Our facilities, our weight room, the new locker room's huge. I love our rink. We should get more fans than what we expect, but the new dorm will be huge for us next year. And the campus up itself, the academic buildings, that's a beautiful area, and then the waterfront doesn't hurt either.
I absolutely love it. Go to school right in the water, like in class today. I was sitting there and just dozed off for a second and turned around, and the ocean's right behind me. It's pretty cool.
Who's got the hammer? All right, all right.
Hey boys, great job on defense tonight, but this guy, has had a heck of a season so far. And it's the same thing every night. He's so consistent, and we need that to the playoffs.
What I love best about playing for the Beaks? The boys. Absolutely, just coming into this locker room every day, and everyone's hooting and hollering, and just seeing everyone and hearing all the sounds and sights and everything. It's great.
We'll see you next time when we drop the puck on another episode of New England Hockey Journal. Thanks for watching.
Second puck! Nice play, Justin! Nice save! Up the ice!
Thanks for the effort tonight, boys. It meant a lot to me to get the win tonight. Now it's time to start doing some damage in the playoffs, all right?
Hey, let's do this in the playoffs. Hit back!